Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Scott Noakes, a professor of medieval literature at Troy University and a Fulbright scholar being hosted by Kyambogo University in Uganda. What you're about to see is a talk from the Kwar Adhola, who is the king of the Jopadhola people, a people group that lives in the eastern part of Uganda. Now, for those who are not familiar with Uganda, although Uganda has a political structure, it also has many, many kingdoms and chieftainetes and different systems, and each of them will have their own kinds of traditional leadership. These leaders have cultural power and also sometimes wield significant political power as well. The man you are about to hear is Moses Stephen Owor. He is the Kwar Adhola of the Jopadhola people who are in the eastern part of Uganda. They have been led by him for over a quarter century, and he turned 100 years old this year in 2026. So he's 20. We recorded this with him in late May, a couple months after his 100th birthday. You'll see him dressed in his regalia, and we came just for a meeting, but after he heard about our research, he decided that he wanted to give a story for part of my research, but also offer greetings to the American people and explain a little bit about his people as their cultural leader. And so this is what you are about to see. I do hope you find it enjoyable and edifying, and I want to especially thank Troy University and Kyambogo University for allowing me to come here for this research, Fulbright Program for funding it, and of course, the Kwar Adhola and the Jopadhola people for being so gracious with my visit.
Professor Richard and Mrs. Richard, I take it an honor and pleasure on my part as the king of the Jopadhola, found in the Tororo district, the border town with Kenya. It's a great joy to receive you here today and to share with you some important aspects of the culture and heritage of the Jopadhola. It's our joy to receive you.
Thank you.
Jopadhola are a part of the Luo ethnicity that originated from southern Sudan and is part of the Luo community, some of whom predominantly in Kenya and northern Uganda. We speak a language called Jopadhola, reflecting the tribe of the Jopadhola. We live in eastern Uganda. Wonderful place with a lot of cultural stages and a lot of things to learn about Padhola. The kind of food we eat, the staple food we eat, the way we live, the way we arrange about our marriages, and how to manage a family in the home. We have a very rich culture, and we cherish those cultures because in many cases they show the kind of respect we have in certain matters. For example, in a marriage, we value and respect parents who offer their daughters to another young man of another family to make a home. The parents of the boy, the family of the boy, negotiate with the family of the girl, and when an arrangement has been reached, when the parents of the girl are satisfied that their daughter is going to a home with a reputation, a home that people have respect for, then negotiations between the parents is undertaken. Finally, when an agreement has been reached, there is what they call gifts to the parents to be determined. It's sometimes referred to as dowry, which is paid by the parents of the boy. And when those dowries have been delivered and accepted by the girl's parents, then proper formal marriage is established. For those who are Christians, then a wedding arrangement is made through the religious faith of the couple. Finally, a wedding is held, which is very much celebrated. Relatives, friends come together and share the marriage ceremony with the music and so forth, and it's a very merry day for the family. Jopadhola have a culture of respect. Jopadhola feel and realize the value of education. Education in a more broad manner, in the sense that education of the children about the culture and the good manner of treating elders, parents, and neighbors. Because a Jopadhola child is meant to be a child for all the friends in the neighborhood, and they all take interest in knowing and ensuring that the children are trained to have good manners, to have respect for elders, and to be polite in their way of approach to things. As I said earlier on, at wedding feast, people dance, people share food and drinks together until sometime in the evening or late evening. The parents of the girl depart. They don't stay night at their parents-in-law. They have got to return to their homes as a part of respect. Generally, our food, staple food, is millet mixed with sorghum and cassava to make kind of bread with dishes of all kinds. We used to have a common and a highly accepted kind of dish called magira from white beans. That was highly respected, and when visitors come and they are treated to that, they feel that the hosts have had love for them and have shown the best they could offer. The training of our children in the past, although it is gradually dying out, was to teach children through folklores and stories about things like the elephant and the hare, where they say the hare and the elephant agreed that their mother, each one, respective mother, becoming old, and as such, a burden and a liability to them. And the hare made a suggestion to the elephant and said, now, how do we get rid of these old people so as we can be free? The hare was always treated as a man with a lot of very brilliant ideas, and says, do you know what we do? These old people should be dumped into the deep river or lake. And so they agreed. Now, the elephant got his mother, persuaded his mother to say, he wanted to show her how the ocean or the lake looks like. And therefore, if she would agree to accompany, to go with his son for that sightseeing. And the hare did the same. When they reached there, hare, being a small little animal, had some wood, wrapped it in a kind of clothes, and said that was the old mother was holding the old mother was the armpit. The elephant was pushing his mother. When they reached there, the hare said, since your mother is heavier, let me help you to push her into the water. And the elephant agreed. So together with the hare, they pushed the old woman and she sank. It was now a turn of the hare also to push his mother. And the elephant, being a man very proud and not bothered so much about looking after small things, did not bother really to ensure that the hare had also thrown his mother into the water. It was a deceit. So on the way they both walked and returned home. It is when they reached home that the elephant realized there was nobody to give him food because the mother used to prepare food. Whenever he came out, he went out for a walk or meeting with friends, he would come back home and find the mother has prepared food. This time around, there was nobody. He went to the mother's house and started weeping. Oh, mother, I don't know how I became this fool and threw you into the water. Meanwhile, the hare, what is his mother hidden in the kitchen, went and sat down to a good meal from the mother. And therefore, the conclusion of the whole story is that you have got to be careful what suggestions people give you. You must discern, you must examine the intention and what have you. If you behave like the elephant and you are told to dump your mother into the lake, and you readily do it without examining the merit of it and the benefit of doing that, then you always a loser. So that's a part of a teaching to our children, that never just accept any suggestion by a friend. The suggestion, if you take it in its raw form, can lead you into danger and you are the loser, while the one who purportedly was the man, the person who mooted the idea is laughing at you. Those are some of the, and that was intended also to enable, because these stories were normally done in the early days, where there's a grandmother, all the children, grandchildren sleep in the grandmother's house so that they prepare the whole night. They are helping to add food, wood into the fire canal to keep the house warm. So all the young boys below 15, up to about 9, 10, all of those were sleeping in the grandmother's house. And such stories were told as you fall asleep. And that was a part of the culture, but intended mainly to show people, children grow up by listening and discerning. Whatever a friend tells you, don't take it for granted. Don't be fast in accepting a story from a friend. You must discern and find out the truth of it and the true benefits that you will derive from what it gives you. Otherwise, it could mislead you and throw you into a lot of problems. Then, not to know that, there used to be songs which are intended for seasons. Rain season, there are separate songs for it to attract more rain to come. And they say they are singing for the rain. When the rain hears it from their dancing, then it comes down to want to listen to it more, and that's when rain falls on people's crops. And people are happy because they have sung for the rains. The same with the moon. The moon gives light to people when they want to sit outside there. All the children sit stretching their legs in front. If you don't stretch your legs, you will not grow. So all of you must stretch your legs so that you grow. Because the moment you fall to your feet, they say, you will never grow. And you could see the things that were very amusing. But it used to help togetherness and children to grow up sharing ideas and so on. So that was the culture of bringing up children. And then they say, as a children, You've got to support your grandmother and even your parents. Because to avoid children, when they've been sent first to the nearby shop, to avoid them engaging in playing on the way, and when they meet a friend, they forget what the mom sent him to do, and then start playing. So they say, now, if I want to send you to go and get us salt from the shop over there. Yeah, yes. But I don't want you to delay there. You hear? I say, yeah. I'm going to spit on the ground here. When that spit dries up without you having not come, you will never grow. So you make sure you run quickly for the money, get the item, your boat, and run on the bring from Mom and say, I brought it. Will I now be growing? Yes, yes, you'll be growing. But if you are delayed, then if the saliva had dried up, you'll never grow. You'll be a stunt boy like this. And nobody wants to remain stunt. So they would always want. So that was a way of training children mentally, to ensure that when you are sent to do something, do it quickly and do it the right way. Because if you don't do it the right way, you will never grow. And nobody wants to never to be grow. So such are the ways Jopadhola bring up their children. And many, many other funny ways, but very instructive and useful. For a Jopadhola, you have the highest maximum respect for your mother-in-law. When your mother is seated there, you don't sit near. You have to sit somewhere, speak to her either through a third party or at a distance. Mama, how are you? Hey, how are other people? And say, my child, he calls you a child. Hey, they are well. They send you greeting. Thank you, Mama. Thank you very much. We also well here. You are welcome, Mama. Then her daughter, who is your wife, prepares the meal for her, serves the meal by kneeling down to serve her mother or parents with a meal. When they have come, father and mother, they visited their daughter. The tradition that the husband of their daughter must look for a cook. You don't serve your father-in-law with meat or fish. No. That's a disrespect. It's not a cloud, not allowed at all. It's an offense to the father-in-law. So you've got to look for a cook. If you don't have it, go to a neighbor, tell a neighbor, my father-in-law has come, but I don't have anything. Can you lend me a cook? When mine grows, or when I find time, money, I'll buy and replace you. So you get a cook, and it's prepared. The mother eats meat. Our women used not to be allowed to eat chickens or eggs. So while the old man is having a chicken to himself, the mother-in-law is fed on meat, either goat's meat or cows or things of the kind. Those are one of the things that we used to do. Generally, mothers-in-law are very helpful because for the first 1 or 2 years, the mother-in-law makes sure comes to support her daughter so that she trains her to get the mother-in-law where she's married to appreciate this is a good girl. She will not complain. She will not tell his son that you brought a useless kind of a woman. So every time, by about 10 o'clock or something, the daughter-in-law will have prepared some meal and serve her mother-in-law some tea, water. Keep asking, Mama, what do you want me to do for you? And the mother-in-law says this or that. So that's how marriages last in Jopadhola. But if the daughter begins to misbehave and the mother-in-law says, no, we can't have this anymore, then the boys are forced to have a divorce with that woman because the parents are dissatisfied with the manner of our treatment to them. That's one thing. Then the boys, normally, because we used to keep cattle, that was the economic source of family richness. Then the boys would go into the field taking cows for grazing. Now, there used to be a common ground field where all the boys with their cows come together. The cows are there, and the boys begin to test each other's skills of fighting. So one comes and teaches the other one. They normally put the sand on your hand, and the other one comes and he beats. Then the sand is falling. And you say, how dare you? Huh? Scatter by the sand on my, how dare you? And then the other challenger says, and so what can you do? What do you think? There and then they start wrestling, and they wrestle and wrestle. Then the boys from this side begin to see. If they see the boys from that side beat them in wrestling, they'll say, no, we'll find a method one day and take those boys. We cannot allow them to be superior in wrestling or boxing or things of the kind. And so they grow. That is to show them to pick courage and be brave to defend themselves. So they grow that way by defending themselves. Then there used to be a game called a bilo. A bilo is really like what in the modern world, they go golf. So they would go and put something, and also do this. When you are a little stone or something, it passes the rest, you are the winner. So there's that kind of, but all in all, Jopadhola are very friendly and primarily Christian, because it is the Christian missionaries who started coming from England and therefore introduced mainly two denominations, the Anglican and the Roman Catholic Church. And so you find that a large majority of our people are of Christian faith, either an Anglican or a Protestant or the Roman Catholic. Some time back, there was a little rivalry between the two from the colonial history, where in England some years back there was a fight between the Catholics and uh, the Protestants. But since then, through our institution, like this one of which I'm the leader, we discouraged that and said that was a very foolish way of looking at faiths. Faiths are not meant to discriminate against the other. As we say, even the Bible you read, the Quran you read, they encourage love one another as I and my Father are one. Why do you then begin to use religion against your brother? And we have discouraged that. And today in Uganda, there's less and less force of religious discrimination. People accept one another for what they are, not what they believe in their faith. And that has helped. Now, Uganda, particularly under the present government, to look forward together, regardless of faith. You're a Muslim or no faith at all. If you have the skill, professional or just trained, acquired through training, use that skill and work along other religious people without discrimination. That has brought peace, that has brought development. So, development started by, originally, we were living in small grass-thatched houses with bad water for the walls of the house. But with the economy coming up, and also with education, the educated lot of our people, young boys, no longer want to sleep in a grass-thatched house. So as soon as he has got a job of a kind as a teacher or a medical assistant, whatever profession he has taken, the first few months' salary will go towards ensuring that he has a small house built in the homestead of their parents. Because you cannot marry and be accepted as a man when you don't even have a home. Don't have a house where you're going to bring your bride. So they make a point, have a small house. When you get your bride, she's accepted. You say, that's where you start. And you start from there, growing slowly. When there's a little more money, the original small hut is converted into a kitchen, and a new larger house is built. And we keep on like that. We now value education as a sure way, both for development and enlightenment. And so we have that. Parents are competing in taking their children to school. The little well-off choose good schools which are pretty expensive, take them there. The poor one all the same, also because the syllabus is the same from primary one up to university level, the same common subjects, not a question for this for the poor, this for the, no. It is according to each individual's talent. Those who are gifted in sciences will take the sciences. Those who cannot do mathematics, physics, and chemistry, they will go for other subjects, geography, and a few other things. And the government has also planned such a way that they are now trying to attract more for higher education, more for those who are gifted with talents for sciences, because our president believes that it is the scientists who will help in fast-tracking education, training, by using scientific methods to develop some means of creating and manufacturing tools which are used for development. Our president, for instance, has made it a law not to allow any materials, particularly minerals, from our grounds to be exported anywhere in a raw form. They would rather persuade the prospective investors to come and build a factory so that those minerals or other things are processed in Uganda, both to import skills for our own people. Because if you get, like we get cars from Japan and what have you, you don't know what is what, and so they are told not to put nuts and so on and started driving. That we must know that a car does not run on 60 nuts only. There are a number of things, combustion and whatnot, the air water, and then where that the oil pass and what and on. So we want, if you want to, we want you to build a car factory here so that you can train our people to know how a car is made, what are the composition of materials in the car, and so on and so on. And that is catching up, and people are happy with that kind of initiative, and we are all happy. So that are the steps that our government and our people are using. And elections are based on the manifestos which both the government and other competing candidates offer. If we win and take the government, our priorities will be A, B, C, D. The other one says that. But all of them in common, because Uganda is very ideal for agriculture because of the weather, the kind of weather we have. Throughout the year, there is no difference like seasons as you find in Europe or America. We don't know what is called winter. We don't know spring. We don't know autumn. We all have one or two seasons. Rain season and dry season finished. And they overlap. Sometimes you don't know whether now you have entered into a dry, like today. We don't know whether this is a dry season or rain season. But later on in the evening, rain will come. And by tomorrow, the day is just like this. And therefore, it is ideal for growing all kinds of crops, fruits, and food kind like potatoes, bananas, and whatnot. And therefore, this country has the potential for export of agricultural goods. And today, we export a lot of our foodstuffs and fruits, especially to Europe. And to some extent, we've made agreement with the United States government to import certain things which are rare or are not common in the United States, which our people grow here, or women make some handicraft and so on, and they export it to the United States. That is a part of a chain of diplomatic and political kind of, call it a friendship, so that you agree to import things which you don't have in your country in exchange for us also importing those things. And as I say, we are doing well. We are not going, our ambition is not so much to make airplanes, but for other things on the ground, we say we can make because we have the materials here. We have a lot of minerals of all kinds which are used for industrial purposes. We have virtually everything that we need for industrial growth. Many areas, minerals have not been, they have been discovered, but we have had not capacity yet to start developing them. So as the time goes, we believe we shall be able to get these things, and that will help us. And that's why we treat friends like you people from the developed world. We will make sure that our relations with you are warm, because we expect to learn a lot from you people, either by coming here and training our people, or allowing our children to go to your countries, you train them there, and they come back with the skills they have acquired, say from America or Europe. And therefore, our diplomatic relation aspect is very warm and treated with great respect. If there's anything like the war, Ukraine, and Russia, recently we have a problem with the United States, with Iran, and so forth. We tend to keep neutral. We do not support one side against the other. We need both, and we need many more, because we are hungry, we are thirsty for skills. And you don't know from which area, what kind of skill this one offers. Ukraine may be offering something which Russia does not have. And so if you say you lean on Russia and forget Ukraine, if Ukraine closes, then we are the sufferers. So we prefer, and that's why Uganda is a member of that group which calls itself the non-aligned countries, so that while the giants fight, we should say, please stop, brother, stop, I think you've had enough, rather than say, oh, we'll share, we'll beat you, we want to beat you, until we beat you, we'll not rest. That one we say, we will not get into that. So that's the kind of policy. And we, as cultural institutions, we work together with the central government. In other words, whatever policies that the central government has established, we here, because we are with the people, the rural people, we are the ones to interpret what those new policies mean. Is it for the common good? And we tell them they are always for the common good of you people. Take, for example, how to manage diseases, common diseases like the HIV. You tell the people, now, HIV is a disease which you don't see, HIV is something which you need to be careful how you handle and how you conduct yourself. Now, things like Ebola or COVID that we went through, we interpret to the people what it means on the economy. It is the small farmers that grow these things which cumulatively government collects and exports. So we tell them, if you want a bicycle, if you have no bicycle and you want a bicycle, grow more coffee, grow more granules, that is sold, and there's money for you to also receive and buy a bicycle. Then they start cleaning. Otherwise they would be lazy and say, so long as I have food enough to eat, and I can go for a siesta and wait for supper. We tell them no. Those little things you grow, those fruits and whatnot, no, the things that add up to create wealth for the country, and you become a beneficiary of such. So, a cultural leader like me, I've got to go out to my people, speak to them, address them. They need to keep careful of the hygiene. Tell them about the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes don't come from heaven. Mosquitoes are generated here. Stagnant water and things like that create mosquitoes. And therefore, we must not allow stagnant water either in your compound and things. This is what we, simple things, but very important because you prevent death. And then they realize, and more so, they believe us, cultural leaders, more than they would listen to a central government minister who comes with a flag and whatnot, and so on. They say, that one member of parliament, they call themselves honorable MP. Leave them there. Our men are there. So we are their men. When we come, hey, they start dancing for you. And then when they're cool, you pass the message. They get the message. And those who did not come, you will find those who attended the rally telling them, oh, you missed. Our leader said, blah, 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 blah. We know, normally you are slow in gossiping. This time we hope you're also kind of a joke, and they laugh at it. And that's how we get our things done. So precisely, or briefly, that's the way we live out here. And I think we are happy. And when we receive people like you coming to share with us these things, we are happy because we know when you understand us better, you go back, you can convince your taxpayer at home to say, we need help. And therefore, when the government of the United States makes a budget for helping developing countries, Americans will not say, no, don't take our money away. No, they will say, we are taking it to help those brothers of ours, and so on and so on. When I first went to the United States, so many areas I visited, people were coming to see me. I said, do you speak English? Where did you learn your English? I said, from school. Are there schools in Uganda? I said, yes. But they tell us Uganda is a jungle, and they mingle with elephants and what have you, the country. They normally show us a lot of animals roaming around. I said, those animals which they show you are in a special place called National Park. They don't roam on Kampala Street. You don't find them. If you want to see elephants or leopards or buffaloes, you don't find them on Kampala Street. You find them in their place. Oh, that's so? What about? Then we used to have a friend. He also went to the United States and started deceiving people. He said, I tame snakes. I have a farm, half a square mile of nothing but snakes. And the people got scared and said, this is a very dangerous man. Maybe in the pocket he has some snakes. And people would run away. I remember experiencing that in Nairobi. This man was receiving people, guests, Europeans in Nairobi, visitors. And people said, how do you manage? I said, I call them, I give them names. I call each snake by name, and they would come. So that kind of thing. That's the story of Africa and Tororo that I should tell you. But you're free to ask for a few more, should you wish.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I do really appreciate so much what you've given us already. This is quite wonderful. And I don't think it turned off, so I was afraid of the heat would turn off. Thank you so much. I want to be very respectful of your time. I know you're a very busy man.
Thank you. Thank you.